Earlier in the program, we spoke to Conrad Enel. We also spoke to Mark Loquan, the president of the National Gas Company, about how they are COVID-proofing the entity and looking forward. Let's take a look.
If you look at all the, the screening we've had to put in, the care packages, the tools, technology, cybersecurity, whatever investments that you would have had to make with this change in working, it's in the order of about $1 million TT that we would have had to put out. We immediately had to change the way of working. I mean, the lights stayed on and the gas continued to flow, but when it comes to the way how the business started to run, a lot of the meetings, negotiations, board meetings, employee meetings, a lot of it actually happened virtually. And we have continued in that manner since the end of March. It hasn't been the essential staff in control rooms. But what we've done in the control rooms is actually change the way how the shift system is working to have less contact and less change of shifts. So there's actually more shifts than we would normally have, less people on each shift. And if anything was to happen with one of the shifts, you have then 2 shifts to kind of continue working in the essential areas.
$1 million have been spent and rapid changes have been made in the way work is done at the National Gas Company, a state-owned energy giant at the heart of the economy. The company itself has been hit by COVID, but the situation was quickly contained. Contingencies have been put in place at all levels, which up to this point seem to be working. The present and possible future of work is centered around technology, which comes with a mixed bag of advantages and challenges.
Particularly as a state entity, there's a lot of paperwork and moving from one area to the next. A lot of that has changed dramatically with electronic signatures and e-invoicing, even the way how we are, doing procurement, it's, e-tendering and so on. So a lot of the processes have also become more agile. In a way, it's been good and bad. I mean, you prefer, of course, to have, people across from you and you're interacting and so on. In a virtual world, it's different from that point of view. But in terms of us discussing the issues and seeing each other, virtually, it has helped in the way that, there's no travel and people are not going through all of those kinds, spending 3 days to have a one-day meeting. It's been actually quite rapid in terms of whenever meetings have to happen, it virtually happens. And we've managed to get through, a lot of difficult issues now by using this medium.
In fact, there may be no going back to some things.
If things normalize, I think it will continue in some combination where this certainly, there is going to be a continued aspect and some cases permanent, like the way how the signatures and all of these things are how we would have waited on a piece of paper to go from here to there. A lot of that is not, we're not going back to that way. And certainly the way of the supply chain management, procurement, the e-auctions, the e-procurement, e-tenders and so on, that is certainly, we ruled that out, that way of working in the procurement from May last year. And that was a deliberate way, with or without COVID. So some of those things would certainly remain.
As we're all beginning to learn, NGC is finding out that there are some things technology simply cannot replace.
I certainly miss walking into someone's office and bouncing ideas off of them, as opposed to scheduling a meeting to call them later on. So I lost that spontaneity.
In the meantime, the group is paddling hard against global currents.
While no one could predict this would happen or how long it would take to recover, the fact is, it will recover. And it's not a normal cycle as certainly as we know it to be. But certainly there will be recovery as economies recover.